Hello everyone. Today I'm going to teach you all about the present simple tense in English. This is a fundamental grammar concept that you'll need to master, so let's get started. The present simple tense is one of the most fundamental and commonly used verb tenses in the English language. It is used to express actions, habits, or states of being that are happening in the present time. Some key points about the present simple tense. Habitual actions. General truths. Scheduled events. Instructions and directions. Negatives and questions. Habitual actions. The present simple is often used to describe actions or behaviors that happen regularly or repeatedly. For example, I go to the gym every morning, or she reads the newspaper every day.
Listen the dialogue between Sarah and James about their habitual actions to learn more about the present simple tense.
A conversation on habitual actions between James and Sarah. James and Sarah are taking a walk in the park on a sunny morning.
Sarah, have you noticed how we often use the present simple tense to talk about habitual actions?
You're right, James. It's a tense we use for things we do regularly. Like, I always drink tea in the afternoon.
Exactly. It helps us express routines and habits. For example, we walk in the park every Sunday.
And when we say, she reads a book before bed, it shows something that happens regularly.
That's it. The present simple tense is perfect for describing our daily activities and routines.
It's so versatile. We can talk about what we do every day, like we cook dinner together in the evenings.
And it's not just about our personal habits. We can also use it to describe general practices, like people use smartphones for communication.
So, it's a tense that helps us convey both personal routines and broader habits in a simple way.
Exactly. It's a fundamental part of how we communicate about our daily lives and activities.
Thank you for explaining, James. It's interesting to see how the present simple tense captures our habitual actions so effectively.
You're welcome, Sarah. It's a great tool for sharing our routines and habits with others in conversation.
General truths. The present simple can be used to express general facts or truths that are always true, such as the earth revolves around the sun or water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. A conversation on general truths between James and Sarah. James and Sarah are sitting at the kitchen table, having breakfast.
Sarah, did you know that the present simple tense is also used to talk about general truths in English?
Really, James? Like what kind of general truths?
Well, for example, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. It's a fact that happens every day.
Oh, I see. So, it's about things that are always true. Like we breathe air to live.
Exactly. It's used for things that are constant or habitual, like our daily activities.
So, when we say we brush our teeth every morning, it's a general truth about our routine.
That's right. And even when we talk about scientific facts or natural phenomena, like water boils at 100 degrees Celsius.
I get it now. The present simple tense helps us express these universal truths and regular habits in a simple way.
It does. It's a versatile tense that we use in various situations to convey information that remains true over time.
Thanks for explaining, James. It's interesting how we can use the present simple to talk about these general truths in our daily conversations.
You're welcome, Sarah. It's a fundamental part of how we communicate about our lives and the world around us.
Scheduled events. The present simple is used to talk about future events that are part of a fixed schedule or arrangement, like the train leaves at 6 p.m. or the meeting starts at 2 o'clock. A conversation on scheduled events between James and Sarah. James and Sarah are sitting at the kitchen table, planning their day.
Sarah, have you noticed how we use the present simple tense to talk about scheduled events?
Yes, James. It's a tense we use to describe things that happen according to a regular schedule. Like the bus arrives at 7 a.m. every weekday.
Exactly. It helps us express activities that are planned or scheduled to occur at specific times. For example, our favorite TV show airs at 8 p.m. on Sundays.
And when we say we have dinner with friends every Friday evening, it's about a recurring event.
That's right. The present simple tense is perfect for talking about these fixed events in our daily lives.
It helps us organize our time and know what to expect. Like I go to the gym every Monday and Wednesday.
And it's not just about personal schedules. We can also use it for public events or routines, like the store opens at 9 a.m. every day.
So, it's a tense that helps us communicate about both our personal schedules and broader events in a clear way.
Exactly. It's a great tool for sharing information about our planned activities and routines with others.
Thank you for explaining, James. It's interesting to see how the present simple tense helps us talk about our scheduled events so effectively.
You're welcome, Sarah. It's a key part of how we discuss our daily activities and commitments with others.
Instructions and directions. The present simple is commonly used to give instructions or directions, such as you turn left at the traffic light, or first, you add the eggs and then you stir the mixture. A conversation on instructions and directions between James and Sarah. James and Sarah are in the living room, preparing to cook dinner together.
Sarah, have you noticed how we use the present simple tense to give instructions and directions?
Yes, James. It's a tense we use to explain how to do something or get somewhere. Like you chop the vegetables finely for the salad.
Exactly. It helps us give clear guidance on tasks or navigate from one place to another. For example, you mix the ingredients thoroughly in a bowl.
And when we say we take the second left after the traffic lights, it's about providing directions to a specific location.
That's right. The present simple tense is perfect for giving step-by-step instructions and guiding someone on a path.
It helps us communicate effectively when we need to explain a process or show someone the way. Like you preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit before baking the cake.
And it's not just about cooking or directions. We can also use it for general instructions, like you turn off the lights before leaving the room.
So, it's a tense that helps us convey both specific tasks and broader guidance in a simple way.
Exactly. It's a versatile tool for sharing information on how to do things or reach a destination.
Thank you for explaining, James. It's interesting to see how the present simple tense helps us give instructions and directions so clearly.
You're welcome, Sarah. It's a valuable part of how we communicate when we need to guide others in our daily activities.
Forming the tense. In the present simple, most verbs use the base form. For example, I walk. Except for the third person singular, which adds an s or as. For example, she walks. The verb to be is irregular in the present simple. For example, I am, you are, he is. A conversation on forming the present simple tense between James and Sarah. James and Sarah are sitting at the dining table, reviewing grammar rules.
Sarah, let's talk about how we form the present simple tense in English. It's quite important in describing our daily routines.
Sure, James. The present simple tense is used for habits and general truths, right?
Exactly. To form it, we usually use the base form of the verb for most subjects. For example, I walk to work every day.
So, for most subjects, it's just the verb itself. But what about when we are talking about he, she, or it?
In that case, we add s or s to the base form of the verb. Like, she reads a book before bed.
Got it. So, it's I walk, but she walks. What about negative sentences in the present simple?
For negatives, we typically use do not or does not before the base form of the verb. For instance, I do not like coffee.
And how about forming questions in the present simple tense?
To form a question, we usually invert the subject in do or does. For example, do you play the guitar? Or, does she speak French?
I see. So, it's I walk for a statement, I do not walk for a negative. And do you walk for a question?
Exactly, Sarah. Mastering the formation of the present simple tense is crucial for clear communication about our daily activities.
Thanks for explaining, James. It's clearer now how we structure sentences in the present simple tense.
You're welcome, Sarah. Let's keep practicing to make sure we use it accurately in our conversations.
Negatives and questions. To form the negative, you use do, does not plus the base form of the verb. To form questions, you use do, does plus the subject plus the base form of the verb. A conversation on negatives and questions in the present simple tense between James and Sarah. James and Sarah are sitting on the couch, studying English grammar.
Sarah, let's dive into forming negatives and questions in the present simple tense. It's crucial for expressing our daily routines accurately.
Absolutely, James. Negatives and questions can add depth to our conversations. How do we form negative sentences in the present simple?
When creating negative statements, we typically use do not or does not before the base form of the verb. For example, I do not eat meat, or she does not watch TV in the morning.
So, it's important to remember to add do not or does not to indicate the negative aspect. And what about questions in the present simple tense?
In questions, we often invert the subject in do or does to form the question. For instance, do you like chocolate? Or, does he play the piano?
Ah, I see. So, it's like swapping the places of the subject and do or does to create a question.
Exactly, Sarah. Understanding how to form negatives and questions in the present simple tense enhances our ability to communicate effectively about our daily activities.
That clarifies things. It's interesting how these small changes in sentence structure can alter the meaning so significantly. Thank you for explaining, James.
You're welcome, Sarah. Practicing negatives and questions in the present simple tense will help us become more fluent in English and better express ourselves in conversations.
The present simple tense is a fundamental building block of the English language, and understanding its usage is crucial for effective communication. Its versatility in expressing habitual actions, general truths, scheduled events, and instructions makes it an essential tool for language learners. That's it for our lesson on the present simple tense. I hope you found this helpful and that you feel more confident using this important grammar concept in your English conversations. Keep practicing, and I'll see you next time.